In this video, we are going to learn how to put our trombone together, how to lubricate it and keep it moving well, and how to play our first sounds and first note on our instrument. So let's get started. As you can tell, my instrument, my trombone, is pretty big for my lap. I'm kind of a small person, and so I usually put my instrument down on my chair or on the floor. I'm going to start with it on my chair so that you can kind of see it better. But if you want to do this on the floor, that's okay too. So here it is on my chair. And notice that the name of my instrument right here has a little symbol with the name of the instrument on, which is called a Yamaha, and it's going to face the ceiling. So when I open up the case, I can open it up the correct way. So I'm going to open my case. And there's my trombone inside. There are two pieces plus a mouthpiece for the trombone. So let's start with the piece with the bell on it. I'm going to take that into my left hand and hold on to it for a second. Then I'm going to grab the the slide. This is the slide. Now notice this piece is kind of long and skinny. Trombones are the only instrument that use a slide to make their sounds. How I'm going to put it together is like this. Now notice that little guy that's right here. It's going to go inside that little hole and at an angle. Now notice this beautiful angle. So the bell is this direction and it's angled at a 90-degree angle. Hopefully you know what that is from math. A 90-degree angle, and you're going to twist it and push that down until it is completely tightened. Then my trombone slide has also a trombone lock on that. See that? It locks that slide so it won't move at all. That has to be loose in order to move the slide. So I'm going to keep that on until I'm ready to play. I'm going to grab my mouthpiece. There's the mouthpiece. And where do you think it goes? Probably in that little hole right there, the only obvious one it has. Okay, so there it is. Now I'm going to take my case and I'm going to put it down on the floor. So that I can use my chair. I'm back up on my chair, and let's teach you how to hold the instrument. Notice how I have my left hand. I'm going to kind of bring it to this shape. It looks a little bit like a gun, doesn't it? I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to wrap it over that bar. I'm going to take my other two fingers, maybe three, it depends on how strong your hands are, and I'm going to wrap it around there. I'm going to take my first finger and I'm going to try to grab clear around that mouthpiece. See that? If you can reach that far. If not, you can keep it here. Okay? That's going to be the hold for the trombone. So I use all my pressure in my left hand. My right hand is going to do the work with the slide. So if I were going to play the instrument, I'd bring the mouthpiece to my mouth and it's ready to go. Notice that bell is up and out towards you. Can't be down towards the ground because then you can't get any sound, and the ants don't care what you play like. I don't even know if they have ears, do they? Up and you're ready to play. Okay, so let's talk about how to create some wonderful sounds on your trombone. So let's take the mouthpiece off and let's create some sounds on the mouthpiece. Now this is actually the instrument right here. This is the amplifier. It amplifies and it helps us get our pitches just a little bit better. But I can create all kinds of cool sounds just on my mouthpiece. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a formation of our mouth, which we call our embouchure, which is going to look something like this. We're going to take our lips and we're going to say M. Now notice how that kind of brings my lips together and flattens them a little bit. M. Notice my muscles in my face, how they go back. M. Almost like a smile, but not a smile. M. Then I'd place the mouthpiece right on top of that. And while we're blowing, we're going to create what we call a buzz, or kind of like raspberries maybe on your baby's tummy. M, 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 M. See that? That's what we want. thing we're going to use is the tongue inside your mouth. Your tongue is going to be creating a t sound every time you start playing. So, just like you were saying ta or tu inside your mouth. That's all you have to do. Just start with your tongue. Now I can create all kinds of cool sounds with my mouthpiece. Let's see if you can match me. I'll play, you echo. Try. That you're getting little drips of moisture outside the end of your mouthpiece. I'm not spitting inside my mouthpiece. I am creating, though, hot air through my breath inside a cold mouthpiece, which creates condensation, and then that moisture just kind of comes out. And we'll talk about that here in a minute when we get back to the trombone. But try buzzing on that mouthpiece as much as you need. Take it off. Try it again. Don't forget that M shape with the raspberries and the tongue. Takes a little bit of pressure. I might be pushing this kind of hard on my mouth, just a little bit. Not like, but enough that I'm getting some pressure. Notice my cheeks are back, not puffed, not lips out, nothing weird, just back. You could pause the video there and practice doing that until it feels comfortable. Maybe watch yourself in a mirror and make sure you're getting all those creative sounds correct. Once you feel good and confident with that, we'll put the mouthpiece back into the trombone. And remember our position of holding. Thumb is over there, fingers wrapped around, first finger right over the top of the mouthpiece if you can. And we're going to create some sounds with our trombone. But before we do, we need to learn a note. We're going to learn the note D. If you look behind me on the board, you're going to see our D. Notice it's in bass clef, so our clef sign's a little different than if we were playing a trumpet or a flute or a clarinet. But the D is on the third line of the staff. 1, 2, 3. And that note name is D. We're going to play it on the trombone in 4th position. 4th position is out about that far from the bell. I can touch my bell with my thumb. 4th position. Create that good embouchure. Don't forget your tongue, lips back. Try it with me. Put it down. Bring it back up. 4th position. Reach for the bell. How long can you hold it? I counted to about 7. How far did you get? Now notice my trombone is not sitting on my shoulder. It's above it. I'm using my muscles in my left arm to hold the instrument up. is a D. Practice that until you feel really confident getting that note to sound great on your trombone. Make sure that you're using your muscles, cheeks are back, almost like a smile, and using your tongue. Which position? Fourth. This is first, second, third right at the bell, fourth, fifth, sixth, as far as you can reach with your arms slightly bent, and seventh, fingertip position. Go back to fourth, try D. If you need to, hum it before you start. Hum. If it's coming out as a different note, you might need to adjust your embouchure. We don't want that sound. It sounds kind of like an elephant. We want a D. Keep practicing it until you feel very confident with it. Now, I promised you I'd talk to you a little bit about the moisture that sets up into your instrument. Once you're done playing, sometimes you'll get water in your trombone, clear down here at the very bottom. And luckily, they have what they put in, a water key at the bottom of the instrument. And if you get that glurg, 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 glurg sound inside your trombone, you might need to release that water key. And this is how you do it. If you're too short, you might have to do it with your foot. But I normally just take and I open up that water key with my finger and I blow air. And it releases it down on the floor in your house or on a puppy pad if you're in the classroom. So that's what we call the water key. Watch, push it open, blow air. If your arms are too short and you can't reach that far, you can always use your foot. And do it that way. So now it's time to put the instrument away. Say you're done practicing and you've got that note D really, really well. We're going to take it apart the same way we put it together. My trombone case back on my chair or on the floor. Take my mouthpiece out first. Give it a little shake to get all the moisture out. Put it back in the holder. Take the trombone slide off. Oh, did you notice Mrs. Tolman didn't have her trombone lock on? So I've got to put the slide lock on and loosen this so that I can pull it apart. Twist and pull until it comes out. Put the slide back in the case where you found it. And put the bell back in the case as well. Make sure everything's latched inside so that it doesn't slide around and your mouthpiece doesn't ding up your instrument, and then close the latches on your case. And you're all done, and you're set for the day. Wasn't that easy? Well, one other thing I forgot to remind you about is lubricating your slide. So I'm going to show you that now as we get to the end of this because I forgot to do it during. But if your slide sounds yucky and stiff and it's not moving very well, we may need to lubricate it. You can kind of hear mine moving. I shouldn't hear much movement inside my slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take either oil or I'm going to take my trombone cream. See that? It says cream. Inside of it, it looks like just like a little white cream. And I'm going to take just a little dab on my finger, about that much, not very much, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of my trombone slide. See that? Now you can kind of feel a little ridge right there. You don't need to put it above that ridge, just on that ridge and below. I'm going to do it on both sides. Grease it up pretty good. This is going to make it slick and be able to move easier so I don't get that catching or that sound. Then I'm going to take my little water bottle. So notice this looks, you could have a little hairspray bottle in your thing that's just got water in it, or some trombone kit, cleaning kits come with this little water bottle spray kit. And just spray a little bit of water on there. Put your slide back together. Make sure that you put it back the same way. Water key is down. Don't get it turned around. Put those back in. Ooh, nice and slickery now. I can still kind of hear some sounds in mine because mine's kind of an old trombone and has some damage to it. But put that slide lock back on and put it back in your case. And you're good to go. You can do that anytime you need. I usually do mine about once every week, but if you need it more often, you can. But keep your slide nice and moving easily so that you have a really great sounding trombone and ease to move the slide. All right, practice this video as much as you need until you feel confident with it, and see you next time.